This is a fair use. This is a copyright edition for Emmy Sagittarius Arm. We're not breaking any rules. Truth sounds like hate to those who hate the truth. What the Mandela effect is, it's a mind trick. It's a deception. Hello, my name's Jose Martinez and I'm affected with the Mandela effect. Before you start making comments on my videos, please read my disclaimer or my agenda, and that will explain what all my videos are about. For many years, and I called other shows and I told my story, what happened to me and what's happening to my life, and I will try to explain it on this video to make it as simple as possible. This is my old earth. My sun was orange. That's where I come from. My earth was really like 3 times as big as this planet. Time was slower. People were nicer. And then it switched on me. I went to an earth that had a yellow sun. And now that I'm at right now, it's a white sun. The North Star is missing. To me, that was the first star that came out of in the dark. This is my earth. My North Pole was full of ice. The North Pole where I come from used to be called the Northern Arctic Continent. This is the way the North Pole used to look in my eyes. So I kind of drew white area. Maybe Canada was a little bit less ice, but this is what I remember. This is what's in my memory. This is the planet that I came from. The street lights, green was on top, yellow in the middle, red on the bottom. But when I switched planets, I noticed the lights switched. That was my first indicator that I was in a different place. New Zealand to me was on the left side. It was one island. At the 10 o'clock on the west side of the planet, of the Australia, I'm sorry. That's how I remember. And I noticing that the capitals of the United States were changing and around the world. Los Angeles was the capital of California in my memory. Anchorage was the capital of Alaska. Here is Juneau. And then Juneau was Juno in my memory. Rio de Janeiro was the capital of Brazil. That's where the Olympics were held. I saw that on TV for myself. Hong Kong was the capital of China on my planet. This is how I learned that I was in a different place. Kiev, K-I-E-V. That's how I remember Ukraine. Sydney was the capital of Australia. And this proves to me that there is a multiverse, different dimensions, different histories, different planets with different logos, different Bibles. And that's how I knew that DUFAY theory was correct. Me and him talked and we shared a lot of experiences. I even saw DUFAY on my planet. And that's how we figured it out, that we were all over the galaxies where the lion lived. Monocle was there on the Monocle Monopoly game. Mirror on the wall was there on the Sagittarius arm. That's where we came from, with the yellow sun, orange sun. And now we got moved to the white sun, to the Orion Spur, where the wolf lives. Magic mirror, and there is no monocle on the games. Saturn was the only planet that had rings. Orion has 6 planets that has rings. Ask Surrey right now. Ask Suri how many planets have rings like Saturn, and she will tell you there's 6. So that means you're in a different
For the most
galaxy.
part, highly affected people, we see most of the same changes
Here's
at about the
Brian
same time.
Stavely
But that's not exact. So sometimes, and even
explaining
if we
why we
could
have
observe
different
something a
memories.
lot, very often, me and you, we might see a change a year apart from each other, which is fucking strange. But
That's
what's even
because we come
stranger
from
is some of
different
us sit on
planets.
the other side of the fence on some of the, some of the changes don't affect us. Now, for me, I'm not affected by that Darth Vader one. For me, I always remember it in Empire Strikes Back as Darth Vader saying, "No, I am your father." Back as Darth Vader saying, "No, I am your father." Back as Darth Vader saying, "No, I am your father." But many, many
He
people
doesn't
remember him saying,
remember
"Luke, I
Luke,
am
I
your
am your father.
father." But many, many people remember him saying, "Luke, I am your
Yes,
father."
that's correct. You heard it from the horse's mouth. He doesn't remember Luke, I am your father. So that means he came from a different earth. That Star Wars had a different version of a movie. And he comes over here on this planet and says, "Oh, the movie changed. Take out a VCR or DVD from your library, and I guarantee you it's going to say, 'No, I am your father.' Luke has disappeared, of course. You're on a different earth. That this place made a different Star Wars. Just like the Thinker, the statue, it's metal, made out of brass. It cannot change. It cannot move. So it's us are creating the residue that Brian Stavely says the statue changed. That is impossible. Metal doesn't change. It doesn't move. The only thing that's moving is his brain, if he has one. Here's a question that this guy asked about the thinker. And this is the response. I gave him a 2-part response to answer his question. And if you read my statements or answer, it has nothing to do saying that I agree that things are changing. I said things just don't change supernaturally. There it is. Things just don't change supernaturally. And then he goes ahead, writes to me again. He says, "Oh, that's exactly what we said. Things are changing supernaturally." And it's like, oh, this is the reason I have my comments section off. It's because I don't want to deal with people like this. And they ask me questions about the Bible. I don't know anything about the Bible. So don't ask me questions about the Bible. Read my disclaimer. I found peace in my heart because I knew that DUFAY theory was correct 10 years ago. We even wrote a book, Terrors of the Milky Way, by Dale DUFAY. It's on Amazon. $10. He's not making any profit. Please get it. As you can see, those kids are the ones that are doing the residue. They're the ones that are changing because we all came from different places at the same time. This lady came from our planet, and she has the memory that we have. The statue was already here. It's always been like this. We are the ones that are moving. All these kids are making and creating the residue, but they're asleep. They don't know they're affected with the Mandela effect. Here's the other half of the question, saying that he's determined about the changes, and he's trying to say that the metal moved. That's impossible.